It's the hashtag Simply Cyber, COMMUNITY. Here to break the cycle, this is vital more than you and I. Yeah, it's exciting, it don't matter what your title is. You can grab a friend or two or three or four, invite them in. It's the Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's the live with Jerry every morning, having good time. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. It's the Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's the live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. Dr. Auger is a OG, got that potion, the elixir, got devotion to all those who keep on showing up to witness. Fit the tricks and quips and all the tips to raise your cyber fitness. Switching up the routines, pass it off to James quicker. Keep the people smiling, hit that follow, that's a good decision. Every week, today, tomorrow, I encourage y'all to listen. We gon' teach y'all way more than how to protect yourselves from phishing. More like being confident so you can recognize a vision. On a mission, it's official, we gon' get through all these issues. Time for jawjacking, baby, this is more than a tradition, yeah. Oh, I can't forget to recognize the mods. They the engine, they the reason that you leave and feeling charged. It's a Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's a live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. It's a Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's a live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. Yeah. What else can I say? I hope you find some value in this place and have yourself an awesome day. Simply Cyber's here to stay. So let's all put our hands together ready. Time to hang with Dr. A.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is Friday, May 16th, 2025. This is episode 879 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. As always, I am your host, Dr. Gerald Auger, and over the next hour, me, you, Jonathan Booley, Jamie Fleck, Marcus Kyler of the Yeet Crew, Cam Godet, Mondo Avelia, Devin Grady, the YouTuber nonetheless, upstate folks like Port Zero and Code Brew, Steve Young, the mod teams, Justin Gold, Haircut Fish coming in hot, Ms. Julian, Dream Logic, Rhonda Rummerfield in the Low Country, guys. James Kudos here, Senfulous out in Poland. Gary Sturgiadis coming hot off B-Sides. Nola, we are all going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories of the day, and I will be doing everything within my power to drink this huge cup of coffee while ripping apart value from each of these stories based on my experiences and based on my knowledge to help you level up like an absolute boss at cybersecurity, understanding how you can take some of these insights to apply to your job tactically today, this week, maybe not this weekend, right? Let's take a break. But tactically, like in the short term, hey, patch this, hey, stop that, hey, talk to your boss about this, here's a tabletop exercise. Also strategically, long term, guys, here's a spoiler, you don't need to get to a level 5 on a NIST CSF. The goal isn't to reach, maximum controls. It's the right set for what your organization is, risk tolerance, all these other things. So what I'm trying to do is make you the CEO of you and make you absolutely a boss. Now, if you're like, oh my God, Jerry, that sounds amazing, but there's one small problem. I don't work in the industry yet. Well, if that applies to you, settle in, my friend. Grab a chair, sit down, get comfortable. You're going to be asked in any job interview, how do you stay current on the industry, right? First job, you're going to get asked. Third job, you got to get asked, right? This right here is what we call a banger of an answer, okay? Not to be confused with Mom's Carpool Bangers music playlist on Spotify. My son found that hilarious. But dude, if you pay attention, if you engage, talk to the people in chat, listen to what we're saying, stay for the jawjacking, I'm telling you, you're going to get so much friggin' value in such a consolidated chunk of time that whenever they ask you, how do you stay current? Yes, this is the answer, but you're going to be able to double click down and just melt the face of the interviewer with your knowledge bombs, okay? Elliot Mehta is saying, after 879 episodes, how many power poses and pep talks in the mirror does it take Jerry to bring his energy? I'll give you a hint. It's called French roast, Elliot, and I drink it in massive volumes. Good morning, Kimberly Can Fix It. I see Kimberly Can Fix It in chat. Good to see you, Kimberly. All right, guys, as always, I got to tell you, I threw on the sweater here. I've had this hoodie, I don't know. Dude, this is one of those hoodies that I've had for probably 30 years or 20 years, and it's all broken in. It's like the best hoodie, so comfortable. It's basically a blanket shaped like a hoodie. I threw it on because it was a little chilly here in the studio, but now I'm getting hot, so this might have to come off. Everybody chill. Guys, listen, I'm super pumped for the day. If today's your first episode, hashtag first timer in chat, Captain Columbia, hello to you. Guys, let's hear from the show sponsors. Oh yeah, just so you know, I literally don't research or prep for any of the stories that are coming up.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Bro, I'm up here doing work. Ain't nobody got time to, like, go nerd out before the show starts so you can look like you came up with these hot takes right on the cusp. Nope. I've worked in the industry 20 years. This is how I start my day every day. Whether the camera's on or not, I'm just nom. Eating cybersecurity threat intelligence stories, etc.
Become best friends. Yep.
Like it's going out of style. Lisa with the super chat. Lisa, thank you so very much for the super chat. Definitely appreciate that. Lisa bringing the heat. That blue badge looking good on you too, Lisa. Just pointing it out. Here, let me go ahead and get the Oprah emotes. All right, guys. Hey, let's do a quick little UMass by the Pixies. That's right. Hey, so listen really quickly. Let's do the stream sponsor reads, and then we're going to get into how this show can absolutely eviscerate your CPE's requirements. And then we're going to jump into the news. And then James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet is going to make you laugh your butt off as we do dad jokes at the bottom of the hour. And then at the top of the hour, you're going to get a panel of cybersecurity seasoned pros dropping knowledge bombs as they answer any and all of your questions in chat. Oh my God, how is this show delivering so much value in such a short period of time? Jesus criminy. Holy crap, this guy. All right, let's go. All right, so really quickly, let's talk about Barricade Cyber. You guys know Eric Taylor. He was in the mobile studio doing jawjacking yesterday. Victor Agbana in the hizzy coming in on LinkedIn. What's up, bro? All right, dude, is your Microsoft 365 environment secure? Well, is it? Like now, like right now, kind of dunking on a commercial that we all know. With business email compromise attacks on the rise, your entire operation could be at risk, which is not good for anybody. Barricade Cyber Solutions Fortified 365 solution is the answer. Bro, it's simple. You go in. If you don't know how to configure your Microsoft 365 environment to be secure, to be hardened while still enabling business, this is what that is. Dude, this is like an easy button you hit. Hey, we run M365. Can you get in here and configure it so we're not got our butt hanging out of the hospital gown? Eric Taylor and the team of experts at Barricade Cyber, including Justin Gold, implement proven security standards to protect your business from cyber threats, ensure compliance, GRC Mafia, and safeguard your Sensi data. They've helped countless organizations strengthen their M365 defenses with tailored solutions that address real-world vulns. Do not wait until after a breach. Too late is the cry when the man who can harden your M365 environment has passed you by. Visit Fortified365.com today to learn how you can secure your Microsoft 365 environment from tomorrow's threats. Yes, sir. Oh my God, so good. Also, dude, can we talk for a second about Antisyphon? These guys are bringing the heat, flipping the script on cybersecurity training, making it accessible to everybody. If you want to get cybersecurity training from industry pros at a fraction of a cost, Simply Cyber Academy also lives by this mantra. Check out antisyphontraining.com. They've got their calendar of upcoming events. Many of you were doing the Getting Started with InfoSec and MITRE ATT&CK this week. That is completed. If you did do that, what are your thoughts? Did you enjoy it? Do yourself a favor. Take a breath. Grab a drink, some water or something like that. And get ready to drop back into the half pipe as June 16th, this guy, John Strand, continues to bring the heat with the Active Defense Cyber Deception favorite course at Antisyphon. I've taken it. I made a review video on it because I loved it. This is a wicked fun one. This is like messing around with threat actors, letting them expose themselves in your environment. All about good times. Oh yeah. All right, so let's hear from ThreatLocker. I'm gonna do a wardrobe change because now I'm getting a little sweaty up in this piece. Let's hear from ThreatLocker, and then I'm gonna tell you about the CPEs. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com. Yes, sir. Threatlocker.com, bringing the heat. AppSec by default, also community member of the week sponsor. That's what's cracking, yo. All right, guys. Hey, listen, every single episode of Daily Cyber Threat Brief, including episode 879, is worth half a CPE. You can see it in the Chiron, the ticker that goes by at the bottom. That's what's up. Say what's up in chat. Grab a screenshot. Make sure you get the YouTube title that says May 16th, Cyber News Now or whatever. That is evidence. File it away once a year. You might not even ever be asked for the evidence. It's literally just in case, okay? You get a half a CPE. So if you come every day, like AA Witherspoon comes every day, you can get 120 CPEs for a year. Do you know, normally you're asked to like do 40 a year. When you're doing 120, you're like, hold my beer. I'm straight up smacking CPEs upside the head. So say what's up in chat, grab a screenshot, just like Nicole did. Hey, Nicole, good to see you. Tim McDonald, Roswell, UK, as always. Mr. Shannon Wilson in the house. Ricky doesn't know. More like Scotty doesn't know, am I right? Oh my God, such a good song. All right, finally, allow me really quickly to just talk about Flare Academy, and then all the ad reads will be out of the way, and we can get going cooking. All right, guys. Hey, listen really quickly. Flare.io. I love myself some Flare.io, but Flare Academy is a separate kind of splinter off of Flare.io that basically is designed to bring educational opportunities to the masses, very similar to like Lunch and Learns that we do at Simply Cyber Academy or Anti-Casts that Black Hills does. They do it once a month. Their talks are all threat intelligence related. So if you want to get into CTI or Blue Team Defenders, stuff like that, go check this out. They have they're having 2 talks in June. Oh my God. Way to flex, Flare Academy. If you want to learn about the ransomware ecosystem from an industry professional who dabbles in the dark webs, right? So you can learn all this information without getting your mud on your boots. The cool thing is with Flare Academy, you can go to their Discord server after the talk and talk directly to the presenter, ask questions, get insights, maybe collaborate on a project. This is how networking works. So not only can you get wicked good information, but then you could potentially develop professional networks and relationships. That's what's up. So go to basically the link in the description below. It's a redirect. I think I have simplycyber.io/flare, and it goes to the Flare Academy. If anyone's going to go to this introduction to the ransomware ecosystem, please let me know in chat. I cannot attend because I'm doing a live training that day, but I desperately want to attend this. I think this is phenomenal. Dude, if you could go to an interview and talk about the ransomware ecosystem beyond like the headlines, that's sick. All right, guys, do me a favor. All right, everybody do me a super favor. If today's your first time, drop a hashtag first timer in chat. It looks like Bobby Allen. Guys, Team SC, I love that you guys say what's up to the newcomers because I can see it, and then I'm like, oh, perfect. First timer. Welcome to the party, pal. Bobby Allen. Bobby. Oh, cool. Jabroni's going to the Flare Academy thing. Jabroni, I would love to know. Joe, I would love to know how it goes. Please let me know. Oh, yeah. I love DSU, Steve Young. It's my favorite. I love UMass for different reasons, but DSU is near and dear in my heart. All right, everybody, sit back, relax. Get your coffee, get your drink, get whatever you want, get comfortable. Because we're about to let the floodgates open as we shred the top news. Let's go.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines. These are the cybersecurity headlines for Friday, May 16th, 2025. I'm Sarah Lane.
Yes, Sarah.
Coinbase says that hackers bribed staff to steal customer data and are demanding a $20 million ransom. Coinbase says that attackers bribed overseas support agents to steal sensitive customer data, including names, contact details, partial social security numbers, and government ID images, although no passwords, private keys, or funds. Coinbase says it refused to pay a $20 million ransom, but it did say the breach may cost up to $40 million to resolve internally, while it cooperates with law enforcement and enhances security measures.
All right. This is a tough one, yo. All right. You can have great, okay, really quickly, space tacos, right? GRC Mafia. You can have all the controls you want. You can be all up in people's faces delivering cyber risk reduction. Remember, you can't reduce all risk. You will always accept some residual risk. There's not infinite money. There aren't infinite time. There isn't infinite all the things. So you are going to have to accept some risk. Coinbase is one of the largest cryptocurrency platforms. It definitely is big money. I have a Coinbase account, not because I believe in crypto or NFTs, but I basically wanted to understand what the heck all the hype was a couple years ago. So I got a Coinbase account. I bought some Ethereum. I bought a stupid NFT. Then I bought a second stupid NFT. Everything went to zero. Yes. Very good. Very good. I got my lesson learned. But Coinbase basically makes it super easy for people who don't know anything about crypto to get into crypto and go to the moon, right? So for this attack, it's pretty savvy of the threat actors. I'm stunned that the Coinbase operators did not spend $20 million. Honestly, check this out. Coinbase annual revenue. I'm just curious, dude, they made $6 billion in 2024, okay? $6 billion. My back of the napkin rule of thumb, and this is a good one to use for tabletop exercises, is when you're deciding a ransomware amount, I like to use 3% of the business's annual revenue for the previous year. It's painful enough that, it's going to be worth it for the threat actor, but it's not painful enough for the business to want to, it's low enough that the business may want to pay it. So for $20 million, I mean, that's just a drop in the bucket for Coinbase. So for them to say no, they're obviously taking a stand. Again, with tabletop exercises, can't encourage you enough. Work through these exercises with your executive team. Hey, what would you do if we got this happen to us and they were demanding $20 million or 3% of our annual revenue? Don't say 3% of your annual revenue either. Say the actual number, okay? Now here's the legit thing. If you have your my data's in here, your data's in here, it's compromised, right? Hopefully you're not using. Okay, I will to Chris Rock. If you are hold on one second. If you are reusing, if you have a Coinbase account and you're reusing passwords, you shouldn't do that. So you definitely go change all those passwords because you can assume they're compromised. Hopefully you have MFA on, so that's not an issue. The next thing I would say is, this is a, hold on, let me look at what Chris Rock's talking about. The CEO, Brian Armstrong, discussed his ambition to make Coinbase the #1 financial services app in the next 5 to 10 years. All right. So Chris Rock. Oh, so hold on. It's coming across the wire right now. The CEO established a $20 million reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the perpetrators. Very cool. All right. Turning the cannon around and pointing it at the threat actors. Nice job. So let me tell you two things. One will be really the mind value from this story, and the other thing is a hot take on that approach. So as guys, you got to get real, okay? Insider threats is a real threat. Most people don't want to talk about insider threat because it's like, oh, I love Jan from accounting, but then you got to like be, internal investigations and like look at Jan. You can set up technical controls to, monitor for unusual behavior, copying large amounts of files, accessing resources you really shouldn't be doing. Those are all tells. Now, this particular instance, essentially the threat actors bribe somebody to give them insider access. Very hard to prevent this. This is no different than paying off T-Mobile associates to SIM swap. Guys, as I'm going to be real for a second here, okay? This is my speculative hot take. As we get further and further along with AI helping people do work, but also replacing people, we're seeing layoffs at large companies like Intel, CrowdStrike. Like, dude, just go look at them, okay? When people are pushed into the corner and they're offered a large sum of money to do something that they don't really understand the downside of it, or it doesn't directly affect them, it just affects the business, who cares? They're going to do it. So you've got to, your threat model has to adjust to give consideration to the current state of society and the psyche of people and their Maslow's pyramids of needs. So that's something to give consideration for. Yeah, this one. Now, my other hot take is, like, I love this $20 million bounty. Coinbase doesn't need $20 million, okay? Like, I know I say that flippantly, but like $20 million to Coinbase, yeah, they could have paid it, and they're going to recover and everything. But now they're making it more of a point. This is a trend. If you didn't notice, Bybit, another crypto company, got hit for like $140 million, $1.4 billion. Where is it? Come on. Come on. Computer, load. Bruh. Ain't nobody got time for this.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Come on. Am I being denial of service attacked right now? Oh, there it is. Listen, this Bybit company also created a bounty fund of $140 million. So businesses are sick and tired of dealing with threat actors just running roughshod on them, and they're turning it around. This is like the ultimate bug bounty program, right? Again, you're going after real criminals now, so I would be careful. You are making life choices, all right? So that's what's up. What do you think? Actually, here, I'm actually kind of curious. Starting a poll. Do you like bounties for ransomware threat actors, I guess? And basically, I'm asking about this approach. Do you like it or not? Let's keep going.
Windows 11 and Red Hat Linux hacked on first day of Pwn2Own. On day one of Pwn2Own Berlin 2025, researchers earned $260,000 by exploiting 0 days in Windows 11, Red Hat Linux, Oracle VirtualBox, and Docker Desktop. Attacks included privilege escalations and sandbox escapes using bugs like use after free and integer overflows. Vendors have 90 days to patch these flaws. The competition is running through Saturday, May 17th, offering more than $1 million in prizes overall.
All right. This happens every once in a while. I think the original Pwn2Own started in Vancouver, and now they have it like in a couple places. It's kind of like Black Hat. Like, dude, Chris Rock never ceases to impress me. I might say my business got hacked and lose $10 million. Get the insurance money, declare a bounty. Bang. All right, dude, Pwn2Own, if you are into security research, if you're into software exploitation, Pwn2Own is like the Olympics. Like, as far as I'm concerned, Pwn2Own is where the pros come to play, right? It's the Hotlander of the rap scene. It's the player's ball, right? Outcast of cybersecurity. Pwn2Own, you get like basically the research teams do get some advance notice and early access to things. So when they show up, when you hear someone at Pwn2Own cracked a Windows 11 0 day in the first hour, it's not like this isn't, this is going to be a throwback. This isn't the movie The Wizard where they unveil Super Mario Brothers 3 for the first time at the finals and the three kids get, oh my God, what's this? Like they understand what's going on. However, I could give you, or listen, you could give me a month with a Windows 11 operating system and I probably wouldn't find anything because that's not what I do. These guys, they're dropping bombs left and right. Now, one of the really cool things about Pwn2Own is in the name Pwn2Own, typically when you pwn something, it's basically like hacker speak to mean you got root access on it, like you own it. This particular program, at least its original roots, I don't know if it still does this. I assume it does. But originally, Pwn2Own was like, if you were the first person to exploit it, you got to keep that device. So this was like wicked popular when Apple iPhones were still kind of, novel. And like the new iPhone would be at Pwn2Own before it goes on the market. And someone would, break it. Apple would fix it. But then the researchers would have access to like the new iPhone 4 before it hit the streets, right? Same with Android devices and stuff like that. So I'm just going to say, holler. This is a great bug bounty program. Pwn2Own, it's the Olympics of software exploitation. Very cool. Let's go.
The internet's biggest ever black market just shut down amid a Telegram purge. Telegram shut down Hwang Guarantee, formerly Wewang Guarantee, after Wired reported that it was complicit in over $27 billion in illicit transactions, letting crypto scammers launder money using Tether and offering services like stolen data, deepfakes, and tools for human trafficking operations. The takedown followed reports from blockchain analytics firm Elliptic, which also linked another Telegram-based market, Xingbi Guarantee, to $8.4 billion in similar activity. Telegram says the bans aligned with its terms that prohibit illegal activity.
Now, I know this isn't law enforcement, but still, like Telegram went through the crapper a couple months ago. You remember, like the CEO, Pavel something, he was getting drugged through the mud. His like girlfriend doxed him in a helicopter somewhere. Do you remember that? They like arrested his brother to kind of put pressure on him. It was like a flare up of like a hemorrhoid or something. It was just like, rawr, and then it kind of died down. And Telegram was choosing like, oh, we're just a platform. Dude, threat actors all day, every day are all up in Telegram. Tons of businesses are running there. Like when I talk about Flare, Flare.io, and I'm like, oh, Flare's so cool. Dude, Flare, like that's one of the huge selling points. They have all sorts of like sock puppet accounts all up in Telegram channels, and you can see all about it, right? So for Telegram to take a stand and ban thousands of accounts, nice flex, bro. Now, here's the thing. They say the biggest black market just shut down. All right, let me tell you a couple things. $27 million in illegal transactions is a lot of money. That's, ooh. Straight cash, homie. What I would say is, two things. One, they didn't arrest anyone, right? They just kind of cobbled the infrastructure, which only means that either one of two things is going to happen, okay? This is my hot prediction, okay? Which is like about as hot as milk, okay? Or spicy as milk. Number one, another black market enterprise is going to supplant this one as like the number one black market on the internet, okay? Like from ever since Silk Road, ever since Silk Road demonstrated the viability of a dark web marketplace and how much money you can make, it has gone gangbusters, okay? Alphabet, Silk Road 2, Genesis. You just insert your, like as soon as one goes down, another one comes up. So another one's going to come up, okay? They'll use a different messaging app. They'll try to use maybe encryption or something like to use Telegram, but Dude, there's a bunch of messaging apps all day, every day. Signals, you know. All right. Hey, if you're having audio issues, refresh. I'm not sure what's going on, but so anyways, number one, this isn't get rid of black markets. This just slows it down. Number two, this dude right here, Huang. Oh, hold on. Huang Guarantee is the black market. Do they know who the guy is behind this thing? It doesn't say who's behind it, but here's the deal. Whoever was behind this, they were running a $27 billion annual revenue business, right? Was it a year? It doesn't say a year. Whatever. They were running a multi-billion-dollar business. When you run a multi-billion-dollar business and all of a sudden someone takes away your infrastructure, like just ask yourself this question. If you're cashing checks and printing money every day, and then someone takes away your infrastructure, and now you're making $0, what do? You can retire, or you can stand up new infrastructure because you have the playbook, you have the blueprint, you know exactly how to do it, you have all the connections. You literally just have to restore from backups, rebuild. Jesus, if you had a GRC person helping you with your black market criminal enterprise, you'd probably have a hot site or hot, in this case it's Telegram, but like you'd have some type of hot backup to roll to from a contingency perspective. Get your disaster recovery plan in order. Huang Guarantee. Come on, bro. You got $27 billion. You can hire me. Well, you can't hire me. I'm not going to work for a criminal enterprise, but you can hire a GRC person for a couple $100,000 and get your backup sorted out, right?
I'd like to do a tabletop exercise with my with my villain friends in order to understand how we would recover from a law enforcement takedown.
Right? And even then, the criminals are going to be looking on their phone, not engaged, right? Cameron, I'm not sure why it's cutting out, man. I don't know why it's cutting out. All right, hey, really quickly before we go on to the next one, 89% of you like the bounties. All right. So more people, more bounties. Flaming Donkey. I would consult for Flaming Donkey. I'll just let everybody know. The APT Flaming Donkey, it's okay. All right, let's go.
Kremlin-based hackers target webmail service of Eastern European government agencies.
Space Taco's just knocking people over, trying to get to the front of the line. I'll work for you.
Russia-linked hacking group APT28, also known as Fancy Bear, has been targeting webmail servers used by Eastern European government agencies and defense firms, exploiting XSS vulnerabilities to steal login credentials and access emails. The phishing campaign has said to affect entities in Ukraine, Romania, Bulgaria, and other regions. Victims received emails with embedded malicious code, often disguised as news links. APT28 has previously exploited vulnerabilities in Roundcube and also the Zimbra webmail system and is believed to be tied to Russia's GRU.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Can I show that right now, Dan? Okay, so check it out, dude. Like, whatever. I hate to be so callous about this. Russia is in a land war with Ukraine. There is a lot of cyber capabilities, cyber attacks, a lot of all the cyber things, right? And they're sending phishing emails with malicious code, hiding like news links. Dude, it's 2025. Government agencies, can you please get an email security gateway? There's a lot of options out there. Your threat model should absolutely be considering Russia as a threat actor. If you work, live, run a government entity in Ukraine or Belarus or any NATO-related country that's supporting Ukraine, your threat model should absolutely 1,000% say Kremlin-based or Russian-based phishing emails. Put a security gateway in place, okay? Educate your end users. How are you going to get an email on your government email account with news links to something and be like, oh yeah, this looks good. Let me go ahead and check this out. Like, what are we doing here? I don't know. Dude, I can tell you, they're not a sponsor. I can tell you I've worked with Proofpoint. I have worked with Cisco. I don't know, even remember what Cisco's email gateway solution is called. I've worked with that one. I've worked with Exchange Online Protection, or your M365 email security gateway. I've worked with Google, but it seems like that's just kind of like hands off. There's a lot of great solutions out there. I'll say the Cisco one was a little, Web 1.0 kind of vibing, but Exchange Online Protection, super sweet. Configure your email security gateways, educate your end users, and put EDR on. So if all the things fail, hopefully your EDR is a backstop. Daniel Lowry's in the house. Everybody be cool. All right. Hey, really quickly.
We just become best friends.
Yup.
Thank you, Space Tacos, for the super chat. Shout out to Cam Godot for a spectacular MITRE presentation last night for the GRC Mafia. Great job. Love it. If you guys don't know, study GRC. They're, I guess, a sister or brother community. It's basically like overlap or splinter of Simply Cyber, however you want to put it. But studygrc.org. Chris Whitlock helps lead that. Space Tacos. If you like GRC, if you listen, we've been trying to make GRC cool for a couple years. I think we're winning. And go check that out, studygrc.org. All right, hey, check this out really quickly. I did mention, I'm like totally blacked out up here. I don't even remember why I mentioned, the movie The Wizard, where they unveil Super Mario Brothers 3 at the end, and spoiler alert, but and nobody had seen it before. I was talking about how Pwn2Own, people can see it before. Just really quickly, just for the nostalgias, right? For all those who are Gen X or millennials, this was like the coolest thing. This was the coolest thing. This dude was so cool with that haircut and the power glove. Oh my God. Oh, dude, do you remember when you saw this? You're like, I got to get a power glove. I got to get a power glove right now. And by the way, just spoiler alert for all you Gen Z kids, the power glove was terrible for tracking. Like, you ended up just holding it and using it like a regular Nintendo controller. But when your friends came over, you'd put it on and you'd be like, oh, I'm so awesome. Also, just to give you guys some nightmare fuel, Dan Reardon, aka the Haircut Fish, who is on a how do I share this, Dan? Oh my God, how do I do this? Hold on one second. Dan Reardon has done something for the community that is amazing. How do I do this? Give me a second. I don't even know how this is gonna work here. 1 second. Format slide. Hold on 1 second. No, hold on. You guys got to see this. This is like insane what Dan did in like 5 seconds. Standard camera shot with. Hold on 1 second. Look at what Dan did. Is this it right here? Look what Dan did. This is look. Oh, hold on. Wrong button. Wrong button. I'm sorry. So there you go. The Wizard. This is nightmare fuel. All right, guys. Thank you so very much. Thank you for granting me the grace. It's a Friday. We're trying to have some fun here. Let's get to the mid-roll.
Huge thanks to our sponsor, Vanta. Do you know the status of your compliance controls right now? Like, right this second. We know that real-time visibility is critical for security, but when it comes to our GRC programs, we rely on point-in-time checks. But more than 9,000 companies have continuous visibility into their controls with Vanta. Vanta brings automation to evidence collection across 35 frameworks, like SOC 2 and ISO 27001. They also centralize key workflows, like policies, access reviews, and reporting, and help you get security questionnaires done 5 times faster with AI. Now that is a new way to GRC. Get started at vanta.com/headlines.
Oh my God. Hey, really quickly, Devin McCarthy bought a Power Glove shaped oven mitt. That's awesome. All right, let's go. Come on. All right, yo. Thank you all for being here. How many folks we got? 388. I want to say thank you to all of you guys. We've been kind of trending under 400 live. I'm not sure if people are busy this time of year or if we're losing friends, but do me a favor if you would. I don't ask very often, but I will ask today. It is a Friday, so I wouldn't sweat it too much, but if you get value from the stream, share it with a friend, right? Also, I want to point out, it says 388, but I know a ton of people that watch it with a group of people. Kids in car line, families got it on in the background. Teams doing like their stand-up meetings and stuff like that. Thank you to the stream sponsors, Flare, Antisyphon, Threat Locker, Barricade, as always. Love it, love it, love it. Every day of the week has a special segment, and Fridays is James McQuiggan's Dad Joke of the Week. James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet, longtime Simply Cyber community member, a close personal friend, and will be running a new podcast on the Simply Cyber Media Group starting in Q3, so stay tuned for that. That's a little teaser. I'll let James explain what the show format is, but I think you all are going to love it. All right, so check it out. Dad Jokes of the Week. Here we go. James wants you to know what happened when the hamburger walked into a bar. What happened when a hamburger walked into a bar? Well, the bartender said, "I'm sorry, we don't serve food here." Oh my God. I do try not to read these in advance so you're getting the same groan that you guys are having personally. What happened when a priest, a rabbi, and a minister walked into a bar? A priest, a minister, and a rabbi walk into a bar. The bartender said, "What, is this some kind of joke?" Oh my God. Oh my God. All right, here we go. This one is for you. Oh, okay, I see there's direction in this one on how I'm supposed to read it. Okay. Really quick. Jamie Fleck, Cam Gooda, you're going to love this one. Guys, 3 sheep walk into a bar. 3 sheep walk into a bar. 3 sheep walk into a bar. Play some Keno. Order a spa pizza. Tell your mom I said hi. All right, hey, 3 guys walked into a bar. The 4th one ducked. 3 guys walked into a bar. The 4th one ducked. Oh, my God. Those are your James McQuiggan jokes of the week. If you enjoyed them, do tell at James McQuiggan. The guy's always flying, which is why he's at 35,000 feet. He's not even in chat right now. He's probably taxiing for takeoff. Guys, I hope you enjoyed it. We've had a long week. We're almost there. Alpha Sierra is going to lead us off. I'm going to have an update on the music at the beginning of Jawjacking for everybody. Kimberly can fix it, and I have been trying to sort it out. I have an update. Let's get our la-la-la-la's on. You know what to do.
Become best friends. Yep.
Sometimes that just hits so well. All right, let's finish strong, y'all. We got work to do.
Dior confirms data breach affecting customer information. French luxury brand Dior confirmed a data breach discovered on May 7th, impacting customers in countries like China and South Korea, affecting information like names, contact details, addresses, and purchase preferences. Financial data and passwords don't appear to be compromised. Dior says it's notified affected individuals and is investigating the incident, while Korean authorities are reviewing the company's response.
All right, so this is a luxury retail company. Everyone knows about it. Fun fact, what many people may not know is before Chris Rock got into cybersecurity, he was actually a male model for Dior for one of their scent lines. Fun fact, you can OSINT that and find that. Very nice, Chris Rock, when you were doing modeling for Dior. Basically, this is a data breach. this is about as milquetoast basic as it gets. This is a company, insert company name here, that got hacked and some data was breached, right? And they're looking into it. Like this might look like a big story, but like, not really. Let's see. I will say, actually, that would be that's a fun game to play. Go ahead and name the scent that Chris Rock was Blue Steel. Guys, the only thing I would say here is if you're a high roller, right? If you're getting the Cadillac package when you go to Vegas, and you're shopping at Dior online, your purchase amounts are there, your mailing address, your email address. I've said this before. I don't say it very often, but like basically, if I was a threat actor, okay, like let's pretend we're Flaming Donkey really quickly, okay?
I steal all this information, I put it in a spreadsheet, I sort by financial amount with the highest at top, I go to the email address of the top 10 people, and I send them a spear phishing email.
That's how you threat act, right? That's all this is. So if you're a high roller VIP dropping, like you're Kim Kardashian or whatever, spending $1 million on Dior or whatever, like you're a target, right? So I really think this is a limited exposure risk for a very specific subset of people. And honestly, I'm not saying anything wrong about anyone that has money or whatever, but I could easily see these people falling for it, right? Like, I get your stuff. I know you're wealthy. I send you a Dior, because I know you shop there. I send you a 50% off coupon for Dior, or I pretend to be the president of Dior and saying, hey, I noticed that you're awesome. I'd love to give you early access to, the fall line of products. Or, Jesus, like, hey, like, you're a huge celebrity. Like, would love to partner with you. We want to give you $5 million. Click here for information, and boom, we own you. All right? That is true. I forgot about that. So we have, if you didn't know, there's several videos on the channel. There's an entire series on going from one role to another. So I have going from rabbi to cybersecurity, accountant to cybersecurity, K through 12 teacher to cybersecurity, heavy construction operator to cybersecurity, stay-at-home parent to cybersecurity. I wanted to make all these videos for everybody that has a specific situation. Kimberly can fix it. Great point. We'll have to interview Chris Rock on male model to cybersecurity, get his perspectives.
FTC wants a new segregated software system to police deepfake porn. The FTC is seeking to enforce the Take It Down Act, targeting non-consensual deepfake porn. Chair Andrew Ferguson told Congress the agency needs more funding, needs more secure software, and specialized staff to review explicit content and pursue enforcement. The law requires platforms to remove such content within 48 hours, but that could be a challenge under current law. Controversy also continues over the current U.S. president's firing of 2 Democratic commissioners, raising concerns about agency independence and potential legal challenges.
Okay. So deep fakes, we all know deep fakes. If you're interested in learning about deep fakes, Perry Carpenter, as far as I'm concerned, Perry Carpenter is the thought leader on deep fakes and understanding all that. I love Perry Carpenter. In full disclosure, he's a personal friend of mine, and I talk with him all the time. So, like, I'm biased, but dude, it's legit. The work he's doing is legit. The book he wrote is legit. Okay, so if you're interested in learning more about deepfakes and deception technologies, detection technologies of deception, you can definitely check that out. In fact, let me actually do something really quickly. He texted me last night. He actually texted me last night. Let me see if this is public. Hold on one second. I know you hate watching me do this, but what is this? Log in? Yes. Okay. I think this is it right here. Look at this. Yeah, look at this. So this, I know it looks messed up. This is literally CNN, the news network's Instagram channel, and this is Isabel Rosales, who's a reporter with CNN. This went live last night, or 12 hours ago, and this is Perry Carpenter being interviewed and talking about deep fakes and the detections of deep fakes and all that. So like take my word for it. I'm not saying, I'm not making it up. This guy is where you want to go for this stuff. Okay, so let's get back to the story. The FTC won't let me be or let me be me, so let me see. The FTC wants separate software to do for law enforcement to research deepfake, especially in porn. Listen, here's the deal. I think deepfake porn is deplorable. It is, very violating, right, for especially female celebrities, but really anyone, right? Like, just imagine your mom, okay? Like, let's make it personal. Imagine, if you will, someone sends you a link or you just see it on social media of your mom doing something that, maybe your mom does do, but maybe doesn't want, like, just your sister, your wife, your daughter, okay? And like, yes, you can deep fake men in porn, but like, for the most part, it's deep faking women, okay? And it's bad, okay? So I don't know why they're trying to fund a separate software. Honestly, I don't research or prep for these stories. So all I would say is this seems more like a private sector problem to solve, not the FTC's problem to solve. I don't know why the FTC is trying to fund a software project. Again, maybe I'm misunderstanding the story, but I don't know. Like, yes, I think a technology needs to be developed. Not just for deepfake porn. How about deepfake news? How about deepfake leaders giving direction? How about deepfake Pope, right? Like, all the deepfake. It doesn't have to be reserved just for porn. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, Phil Stafford brings up a good point. Like, what just get rid of the deepfake altogether and just, it's all AI, right? You don't even have real people anymore. So, anyways, all I would say is the TLDR for you to take away from this is that deepfakes is definitely a technology that's going to be weaponized both for like porn, but also for business email compromise, social engineering, mass hysteria, terror attacks. So we as a society need to have solutions in order to detect these things. Perry Carpenter is definitely where you want to go to get the up-to-date information.
Scientists use AI to encrypt secret messages that are invisible to cybersecurity systems. Researchers from the University of Oslo have developed Embedder LLM, a system that hides encrypted messages in AI-generated text, making them invisible to current cybersecurity tools. The technique embeds data into natural-sounding chatbot responses and can be sent via any messaging platform. It supports both symmetric and public key encryption and is resistant to quantum decryption.
Oh, wait, hold on. There was a big push at RSA about like quantum computer resilient encryption. I don't know why. Like, I get that quantum computers are around the corner and NIST developed a quantum resistant encryption algorithm, but like, quantum computers we're not close to mainstream. All right. Hiding secret messages using AI chatbots. Again, I've said this on the channel before, just to be crystal clear. I don't, like, cryptography is the domain that I'm least friendly with or familiar with when it comes to the domains of cybersecurity, and I'll be really, really transparent about that. Let's see. Places ciphers inside human-like fake messages. I don't get this. What's this? All right. I don't understand this, right? So you can send a message with this thing embedding it. All All right, so I'm just, so you guys don't watch me fumble through this. I'm starting to actually get a headache. I think I need water. Essentially, there's developments and push forward on being able to encrypt stuff. This is fine. What I would say is, you know, if you're going to use messaging, use Signal, right? Use secure, like, I don't know, like PKI works. I don't understand why we need AI to help make invisible writings, but if the idea is that you can use AI to encrypt stuff to make it so it doesn't get detected, so threat actors can circumvent security controls, that is a problem. Especially where I would see this being the most problematic is through C2 traffic or command and control traffic. If you're looking for C2 traffic and they're able to make it look like normal messages, so an analyst or even a security tool wouldn't detect it or identify it as a false positive, that's problematic, right? That's actually where I see the biggest problem here. So if you're a blue teamer or a red teamer, right, you might be able to use these techniques. Go check it out. But I can't really, short of me spending 10 minutes reading this article and thinking on it, I can't really give you too much of a hot take.
They yanked their own plug. How Co-op averted an even worse cyber attack. Attackers from the Dragon Force cybercrime group attempted to infect UK retailer Co-op with ransomware, but in response, the company took its own systems offline. Customer data was still stolen, but Co-op avoided full system lockdown and is recovering faster than Marks & Spencer, which suffered deeper system compromise and has had ongoing disruptions, while maintaining that no payment or password details were accessed. It is expensive, though, costing Marks & Spencer an estimated £43 million per week.
Nice.
The same group also claims responsibility for attacks on Harrods and uses Telegram and Discord to coordinate activities.
Guys, this is kind of OP. Hold on. Who's the CISO at Co-op? Paul Love. All right. This guy right here. You want to talk about a tripod? Hold on. Let me see this guy. Dude. All right, this guy's name is Paul Love, right? Let's hold on. We got to get this guy. I got to see who this guy is. All right, here we go. We're going to assume this is him. Dude, what an absolute legend, this guy right here. Okay, I'm assuming this is the same Paul Love, who's the CISO of Co-op. Here's what happened, okay? Threat actors are attacking this guy's business, okay? He's the CISO, and he makes the choice to pull the internet. Listen, this is like this is the decision. This is like the biggest decision a CISO will make in the moment. High intensity, anxiety-inducing moment. You're going to pull the plug on the internet and basically bring your own business to a screeching halt. It's like literally a decision that people talk about, think about, and it's like, it's really a big choice. The fact that this guy did it and it worked out, you sir, nice move. Okay, now just to even compare this, another large retail company that was getting hit by the same Dragon Force company or ransomware threat actors, did not pull their plug and they're hosed. So this guy saved time, saved money, did it all. I'm telling you, if you guys do a tabletop exercise, you should absolutely talk about whether or not to pull the internet cord and how does that happen, right? There's actually like a meme, right? Oh my God, my fingers. In case of cyber attack, pull cables, right? There's like literally like, who hasn't seen this meme, right? Well, I shouldn't say that. If you haven't seen this before, this is like a token thing in our industry, right? And this guy did it. So good on him. Love it. I do think it's funny that Dragon Force, who is a criminal enterprise, emailed the newspapers and offensively complained about Co-op pulling their cords out and screwing up their opportunity to rob them. Can you imagine? Can you imagine like a criminal tries to mug you, right? And like, you know, they try to carjack you and you put the car in drive and you like peel out and take off. And then they write a strongly worded email on Reddit about how you didn't allow them to carjack you. Crazy times. All right. You very, very seldomly see someone pull the internet. I do want to share one personal story. I've been involved in a incident where the decision was made to pull the plug. And the reason you want to have a tabletop exercise, I just want to tell you guys this because it's something that you wouldn't read in a textbook, and it's something you should not be super indifferent about. When you do a tabletop exercise and you're talking about pulling the internet off, you should be very aware of what all services you provide that require internet. Let me explain. If you are providing, I don't know, telestroke to a rural hospital, meaning like a neurologist does a FaceTime consultation with somebody walking in presenting stroke, which has a very, very high success rate of recovery if you address it and treat it immediately. If you cut the internet off, you know what you can't do anymore? You can't do telestroke. And when someone presents in the ER 5 seconds after you cut the internet, that's a big problem. So it's not just like, oh, we cut the internet, so now my kid can't play Gorilla Tag on VR. It can have real consequences, okay? So make sure when you're doing those tabletop exercises, I'd almost recommend you talk to the application people, the IT people, and figure out what things are internet dependent. Then bring it to the business team. Who knows? Maybe the telestroke, you have a mobile hotspot slapped on it, and you can continue offering that service in the event of a downtime, called cyber resiliency. All right, here we go. Let's go. All right, guys. I hope you had a great show. Thank you all so very much for being here. Chris Rock, thank you for. I didn't see if Chris Rock left after the male model joke we were having fun with, but thank you to Chris Rock for playing along. Thank you to the mods, guys. If you enjoyed the stream, it's me in front of the camera, but there's a mod team behind it who are making sure everything's smooth. Don't go anywhere because we are going to be doing Jawjacking. Jawjacking is a 30-minute AMA where we will answer all your questions as best of our ability. We'll have a panel today. I see Fleet is posting the third in chat. I did message Daniel Lowry. I dropped it in mod chat. Mods, keep an eye out if someone's interested in coming on. We're definitely interested in hearing their thoughts. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. If you got to go, peace out. Have a great weekend. Otherwise, I'll see you at Jawjacking. Yeah. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking. All right, what's up? Little Matthew McConaughey. All right. Yo, I'm Jerry Guy. This is Jawjacking. It's a 30-minute AMA. On Fridays, we kind of go long. We typically have a panel. The point is, we're here to answer your questions. I can't answer everyone's DMs. I had an accountant who wants to get into cybersecurity email me last night. Like, I might reply to that email, but it's hard. It's hard to do one-on-one. So the way that I serve, the way that others serve, is doing a mentoring at scale, which is what Jawjacking is. So welcome to the party. We're going to slowly start getting some people into chat. Hopefully we get enough on the panel where I can dip out and go get some water because I'm feeling a little dehydrated up in this piece. We're going to introduce our panelists here. First, let me do this. Second, let me do this. Get rid of the music. Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Lowry, I don't know what you mean by where is mod chat. I DM'd you on Discord, Daniel Lowry, the link if you're interested. Ladies and gentlemen, you recognize him from YouTube and such places as the Sock. Ladies and gentlemen, App State's own Fleetus Poston the third.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you, Fleetus. Fleetus is a cybersecurity professional, but very knowledgeable on the blue side of things, running a SOC, hiring, mentorship, leadership, all the ships is good. Fleetus, how you doing, buddy?
Doing well. It's a Friday.
Yeah, I hear you. Let me give an update to Fleetus and to all of you really quickly. So many of you, I've been telling you every single daily cyber threat brief every day that we will be having a move away from copyrighted music pretty soon, which would include Daft Punk's Around the World on Wednesdays, the Simple Minds, Don't You Forget About Me at the mid-roll. I do some copyrighted music at the beginning. However, Kimberly Can Fix It discovered a website called Licked, which it's funny, but they have, I can spend like $30 a month and get 2 songs that are in their catalog copyright free or whatever. I'm paying a license. Daft Punk's Around the World's in there. Okay, so perfect. The second one is Don't You Forget About Me, but it's not the Simple Minds version. It's like a Euro, more modern version. It's a little Euro-y, right? If you've, so we're going to try it. I asked Mrs. Auger yesterday, like, it's not exactly the same. I don't know if it's going to hit the same, but we will do it as a community and we will move forward as a community together. Okay, that's the production updates. Fleetus, let's ask you a question. What are your thoughts on this Coinbase hack, right? Basically, the threat actors paid some insiders some money to give them their creds. So not really hacking them. They just basically brought the insiders into the criminal operation. What do you think?
It happens more often than you will imagine. Collusion is something you need to worry about, and it doesn't take much. As I've said in other chats and in here, emotions go a long way. So if you can catch someone when they're either on a high or a low, you can get them to do something they normally wouldn't do. So they just won the lottery. They're willing to give away things. They lost a loved one, pet died, disgruntled employee. They're likely to take $100. Think of SIM swatching at T-Mobile. I give you a grand, you swap out the SIM card. So it doesn't surprise me. And to be honest, cryptocurrencies continue to get hacked. We just talked about BitLock, was it Lockbit? They disclosed all of their wallets. They're freely available right now. If you go out and get the unsanitized version, you can see the chats. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah, there you go. It's a real threat. And again, this is why privileged access management, network segmentation, data governance, like this is why you should do it, right?
Yeah, and to be honest, this is why MFA is important, especially when it comes to like a challenge response versus just a 6-digit code. So it means you have to have the device in hand. So either you have to compete, the insider has to just share the code with you. So you have to be in lockstep, or you have to take over their device for them.
Right. Yeah. Just adding levels of complexity. I will tell you, it's important to note that if you do this, you're basically, it's very easy to identify who was involved, right? It's like literally your credentials and there's no history of the compromise. So like you did it. So if you're interested in going to jail or being sued, definitely getting fired, go ahead and entertain these ideas. But I will say, listen, if you're making, I'm not even talking about getting fired. Like if you're making $80,000 a year and someone comes and offers you $480,000, or is that 6 times 8 is 48, right? Like they're offering you 6 years of salary. That's very appealing, right? Especially if you think you can like quit your job and like chill for a couple years, right? Or go work at a competitor. We got another panelist here really quickly coming in hot. Monster Energy Zone, Daniel Lowry. Welcome to the party, pal.
What's going on, everyone? How's it going?
Oh, it's very good. It's very good. So Daniel Lowry went to B-Sides Tampa, right?
I'm going tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow. Okay, so
Tomorrow.
if you're going to B-Sides Tampa, you can you won't have a problem finding Daniel Lowry. Not to be mean, Daniel, but like you are a tall fella. You do stand out in the crowd.
I'm not the smallest of individuals. That is true.
Yeah. So if you do see Daniel, our high fives, welcome.
And encouraged.
Okay. Encouraged and welcome. What about B-Sides Tampa you looking forward to, Daniel?
Oh man. Well, hey, getting to hang out with people, right? That is always like for me, that is the number one reason to go to a conference is to hang out with people you do know and meet people you don't, right? Because I can't tell you how many really awesome friendships and associations I've made just from attending even the smallest of conferences. You will run into someone that's like, man, we just kind of click. We just kind of like, that. Did we just become best friends?
Yep.
That happens so many times at conferences. I mean, hell, Jerry, I feel like that's when we kind of like.
I was actually gonna share that story if you didn't. Yeah, that's exactly how Daniel and I became friends. Is at Wild West Hackin' Fest. I'm pretty sure we stood next to each other in a steak line.
We did. So I was sitting at a table, right? I had already eaten my steak. I had already gone through the stampede at Wild West Hackin' Fest. I'm sitting there talking with a group of people. I think Ronnie Wong was there as well.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
And I hear like this over-the-shoulder voice of you and Josh Mason. I'm like, hold on, that's what's up. And then we just started talking, and I'm following Jerry and Josh through the line, and we're just having the best conversation. They get their steaks and stuff. We go sit down. We probably sat at that table for 3 hours.
Yeah. That, and just as a fun little story for everybody, that's actually the conversation where I told Daniel I was going to try to make GRC socially acceptable, which I feel like we've accomplished that. And then two, just as a really funny story, in a steak line, if you've done the Chuck Wagon steak, it's like a big assembly line. It's great food. I got the very last steak, and Josh Mason got the very first steak of the next round of steak. So mine was like a boot, and Josh's was like this juicy, delicious steak. And Josh ended up cutting his steak in half and giving me half of his steak because mine was like beef jerky. But anyways, these things happen.
Yes, that was so funny because Josh is just like, this is amazing. And you're over here going, it's like that scene from Christmas Vacation when he's dipping his turkey in the water. This is so dry.
That's awesome.
These things happen.
Fleetus, what is your tip for people going to a conference and kind of networking? Because some people might be going to B-Sides Tampa or another conference and just a little unsure on how to network.
Yeah, so I went to a local chapter meeting yesterday myself, just similar to Daniel. It's just nice to be around like-minded folks and to meet new friends. So make a friend. You can steal the line, have a buddy say, walk up, introduce yourself from How I Met Your, have you met Ted? And then have someone else introduce you. So have someone walk up and introduce you because that breaks the ice if you're an introvert. If you're not an introvert, which I'm not, just walk up and insert yourself into a circle and listen until there's a pause and just say, hey, this is my name, and then start asking. If some places put name tags, so you get lucky, you can just actually walk up and say their name and then keep the conversation going. But other times it's not. And similar to what you guys' stories, you're going to recognize voices in some conferences that you've heard. So you're going to say, I know that person from somewhere. Like someone walked up to me yesterday. They're like, you're Fleetus, right? And I'm like, yes. And then we started talking because other circles. This is not a very big community. And if you've done anything like we're doing today, when you put your voice somewhere on the internet, someone knows you. You may not know them yet. You haven't met your new friend, but they're out there.
Yeah, and another like pro tip. And by the way, some people are reporting that like Fleetus's voice is really loud, Daniel's is just right, and mine's too soft. So like little Goldilocks here. So let us know in chat. I'll adjust my mic if I need to. If you can, it's even easier if you go to, I don't know, the Simply Cyber Discord server and say, hey, I'm going to B-Sides Tampa. Anyone else? And that way you already have like a warm lead, basically, for a network connection. So, all right, if you have any questions, drop them in chat with a Q up front, and we will definitely answer that. A lot of people enjoying the Christmas Vacation movie reference. That's good. Oh, do we have another? Oh, Eric Taylor has joined the stream. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him from Barricade Cyber. He was in Cali yesterday. James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet getting challenged. Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Taylor. How are you, Eric?
What's going on? I forgot to jump in here because my questions or my comments and rants in chat are not being answered, and I feel neglected.
That's right. Nobody puts baby in a corner.
That's right.
So, hey, Eric Taylor runs Barricade Cyber, Incident Response Forum, Forensics, etc. Eric, there was a story today about how Co-op, a retailer out of the UK, pulled their internet and Dragon Force was unable to attack them. Dragon Force sent a very offensive rant to the local newspaper, pissed.
Yep.
Can you talk a little bit about like ransomware threat actors and their disposition around their victims, clients?
Short of they give 0 Fs.
Yeah. I mean, is it
About it in a nutshell? I mean, so in ransomware, recent ransomware cases, the businesses are getting a little bit more resilient around immutable data storage and being able to recover. So from a forensics perspective, we need to get in, get out, so that way recovery can happen. Most of the payments that I've personally been seeing recently are just around, pulling the Will Smith of keep our names out of your freaking mouth and don't post us online. So any sort of limitation or impedance on any sort of revenue will be not taken lightly by the threat actor. Dragon Force is much of the mindset of much like Akira and some other threat actors, where if you don't pay after a successful exfiltration of the data, not only are they going to post your data, potentially carve out a lot of PII and then sell that on the dark web, but they will come back and DDoS attack you. The UK is under massive attack right now. There's been a lot of retail brands in the UK that have been compromised over the past 2 weeks. So, on another story that I was commenting about, I'm not sure if it's come across your radar. So, Coinbase has kind of done almost, I forget the movie, but there was a movie a while back where a family's kid got kidnapped and they wanted $20 million on it.
Yeah.
Coinbase
movie, right? Ransom.
Huh?
I think it's the Mel Gibson movie, Ransom.
Yeah, Mel Gibson. Yep. So Coinbase kind of did almost the same thing last night. It's like, yeah, we received the ransom demand from the threat actors. You're not getting paid. However, this is what they wanted. I will offer this amount to whoever gives us information that leads to the arrest and prosecution of the threat actor group.
Yeah, and we'll see how effective it is. I hope it works. Bybit also did that with the Lazarus attack and the bug bounty. So I did a poll on the channel, and 89% of community members think it's a great approach to do, and I can see it being somewhat effective. Like basically threat actors not wanting to turn the heat up on themselves might be just dissuaded from doing that.
But that brings up another conversation that I don't think we've talked about, and definitely not publicly with Fleetus or Daniel Lowry. What is y'all's mindset or opinion of, this tactic and or hack back, like we've seen with NVIDIA when they were compromised? Like, do you think these are acceptable, or just do you think it potentially causes more problems?
Why are you trying to get us in trouble, Eric? Why are you trying to get us in trouble?
I'm trying to I'm trying to get everybody on the canceled list.
Yeah. So the hackback I've never been a fan of, because unless you are 99.99, like you need 5 nines assurance that you're not about to take down the middleman or a bot or a zombie, because people don't do enough time in research to investigate if the IP that they're attacking is truly the IP of the adversary, not just something that they use as an intermediate. Counter, I like the counter idea. To be honest, I'm gonna put my arm out there that, hey, I want the community to come behind me and help me find this, and I'll pay you if you find them. I'm not opposed to that, because that puts more people looking and helps, for better or worse, identify nation state actors and who they are, and getting attestation for whatever nation state. I won't pick on one because we're live, but whatever nation state is actually attacking you.
Fleet not wanting to put a target on his back.
No.
Daniel,
Not today.
Comment on it?
My my natural inclination is that when someone attacks me is to go full like psycho rage bear, right? But like to Fleetus's point, that might not be how it ends up working, because if you just react, it very well may just be some unassumed middleman that had no idea they were even part of an attack, and now you're taking them down. So it's a very complex thing. Whereas, you know, I was actually reading about this. It's funny you bring this up, Eric. You got to get out of my head. You're bugging my house, ain't you? That's what's happening.
I got Pegasus on all your devices, sir.
I knew I shouldn't have clicked them links you sent me. Dang it. I knew it. I felt inside it was wrong. Anyway, so I was thinking about this, you know, and there's the argument that, you know, like self-defense, right? There's a good reason to, at some points in time and in some scenarios, to defend yourself with lethal force even. And it is justified. So I think that it is a justifiable thing, at least technically, philosophically, but practically it's really difficult if you wanted to do that. Like, you would have to be committed. And I mean, if we got some good laws around your retaliation, like rights, then we would, and I think there is in some ways that stuff is trying to be legislated.
Yeah, because right now it's currently illegal. Like,
Right.
You're not allowed in the US, you're not allowed to hack back.
Right. So if there were a way to come up with a good set of guidelines for, hey, if you don't do your due diligence, then you're in trouble. But if you do, and you can prove that these are the people that did that, then yes, you're allowed to, like, I mean, what are they going to, it's kind of like drug dealers robbing drug dealers. Are they going to go call the cops? Hey, man, you know, I doubt highly that Flaming Dragon or whatever the hell they are.
Flaming Dragon Force is the real one.
Dragon Force. There you go. I've got the movie references in my head. That's from Tropic Thunder. A flaming dragon. Yes. Then anyway,
and I also want to kind of point out, like, if you just got popped by a threat actor, are you the best qualified person to be attacking?
Maybe, but probably not.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't think
maybe your red skills are way better than your blue.
Yeah, I also like really quick, like, yes, Eric had mentioned it's not legal to hack back in the United States, but the Department of Defense, or the U.S. federal government, is really cheeky because they have a defend forward policy, which is basically like threat hunting in other people's networks, which is basically attacking. So anyways, fun words. Okay, so we've got the question, and I'm almost positive, Stephanie, I messaged you in chat. Let me know if you're the one who actually emailed me. This is a seminal question. We're going to go around the horn. Stephanie is in accounting, okay, and she wants to get into cybersecurity. Heath Adams went from accounting to cybersecurity. I actually have a video on the channel of doing that. There is a lot of opportunity here, Stephanie, for you. It's not going to be a simple answer or an easy answer, but there is a way forward. So let's do Fleetus first. We'll go around the horn, say maybe 60, 90 seconds each, and we'll go. So go, Fleetus, you're on.
So, true story. My second CIO was a CPA. So he transitioned in, became a director, and then was promoted into because of the process and procedure that come with being an accountant. The other thing that's good about accounting is you have a business acumen. I'd like to hear from the other guys, but I can pretty much agree. I think we'll agree on this. Your technical skills only get you so far in our field. You've got to have what I call be bilingual, be able to talk business and talk tech. So being able to distill information quickly and decisively is what's going to help you transition. So you can come in with that accountant mindset of debits and credits. You understand how to balance out. So you'll be able to come in and probably land a GRC role, depending on where you want to go. But you could also possibly get into a SOC role as their documentation person, because that's something we forget about. You need someone who's going to be what I call a command center analyst, who's going to do your traffic cop, and when the event happens, they start documenting. You need a dedicated person to document so that the story stays the same and there's not mix-ups because the documenter changed. Yes, there's shift work. So that's my 2 cents is you can take your business acumen from being a finance person or an accountant and transition into our field because I've seen it. And you bring skills and a perspective that us tech nerds don't always think about it until we've learned the business acumen side of the business.
Awesome. Daniel, what are your thoughts, dude?
Well, it's the good news is that there is no rules for getting into cyber. You can come from anything you like. You can be a truck driver, you can be an accountant, you can be a fry cook, you could be a CEO of a corporation and decide, you know what, I'm gonna sell this business. Cyber is the life for me, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I always say start off with kind of like testing the waters, because when I always get hey, I want to get into cybersecurity. What do I do first? Rule number one, figure out what in cyber. It's like saying I want to be a doctor. Okay, what kind of doctor you want to be? Right? Do you want to be a podiatrist? Do you want to be a chiropractic doctor? Do you want to be an MD? Do you want to be, an oncologist? There's many different avenues in which you could go down. And number one rule of Fight Club is figure out where in Fight Club do you want to play? Right? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? What seems the most interesting to you? And then from there, once you kind of have that acts as your guiding star. Now you can start looking up, hey, what are the best skills to learn when it comes to if you're into GRC? So maybe if you're coming from accounting, maybe some sort of auditing or GRC would be a great side shift for you, right? So you go, cool, that's kind of in my lane. I already kind of get the mindset behind that, and it's in cyber. So I'll start there. Maybe that's my passion. And you start going down that road. What are the things I would need to do? What are some of the GRC certifications? What are some of the GRC jobs? You start looking at job posts, seeing what are the skills that they're requiring for that level of cybersecurity roles. And you figure that out, and you kind of look at that. Once you kind of get an idea of what that is, you start working on those skills. And then learn who the players are in that space. Right? Get familiar. I think this kind of goes back to Fleetus' idea, right? You can't just lean on the fact that you have X, Y, and Z skills, although they are necessary. They are only a piece of the puzzle. So you got to start learning who it is are the major players, and not just the people, but the organizations, all that stuff. And then get yourself involved in that stuff. Yep. Start getting your name out there in those circles so that people know who you are, and you're starting to contribute to those specific niche communities. And then that is good. To me, that's the best avenue in a nutshell. There's a lot more detail, obviously, that goes along with that. And of course, I don't want to steal everybody's thunder, so I'm going to leave some meat on that bone for everybody else. But you got to figure out where you want to go, and then figure out what that looks like, and then start to work on those things in your spare time, and then get plugged into the community.
I love it. Eric, hot takes on Stephanie's question?
I mean, forensic accounting is an item, right? So it is a job skill. And I've said it many times, you can't get into cyber without knowing the fundamentals of a certain aspect. Daniel Lowry, Fleetus, both know this very well. To be a cybersecurity expert in Amazon, AWS, Active Directory, desktop, you've got to have the IT acclimates. You got to be able to go in and be able to know what looks good and what looks bad before you can be able to really do it. Otherwise, everything's going to look weird and curious. And, a 5-hour engagement is going to take you 50 days because you just don't know what's what. You having the accounting, I know there's a lot of financial fraud that's going on these days. So being able to do that, I can tell you here at Barricade, we don't do that. I'm like, no, this is why I have a bookkeeper. I don't want to deal with that. I just want to look at my balance sheet and I move on. Right? I don't want to look at all that stuff. Ain't nobody got time for that. So there's a very big need for, forensic accounting to in the space. So yeah, I mean, if that's what you're looking to go for, I don't know if a company or like you could spin up, forensic accounting LLC and you'll have enough business just with that one line item. So, going into an organization that does cybersecurity and offering that as an additional line item may be where you go. I could be wrong, but there's definitely a need. I just don't know how much of a need.
Thank you, Eric. And Stephanie, just to round this out, A whole bunch of things, right? It depends on what you want to do. I'm sure the guys already mentioned that. I want to provide you some resources. So if you go to my LinkedIn account, like literally yesterday, I actually posted 5 junior level roles in cybersecurity, but there's a link that goes to a video where I cover 20 different roles. So saying you want to work in cybersecurity is like saying you want to work in science. Like that's not enough. Like you need to be more specific so you can tailor your training and networking and all these things along those lines. If you are not technical at all, Stephanie, let me share this with you, okay? This is a course that I made. It's absolutely free, so it's $0. And it literally is called Cyber Career Launchpad. And it will show you security fundamentals, IT and networking, handling malware, which I do put all sorts of cautions around, operating systems. Like basically this is basically a Chinese buffet, right? You're not going to get a job from taking this course, but you will get a lot of insights and knowledge. And frankly, you'll understand if you like this type of work, right? That's another thing that I feel like, I don't know about you guys, and this might be like a spicy hot take, but like a lot of people say like, oh, I want to work in cyber. And it's like, that's fine. I'll be the first person to like make the circle bigger and let everybody in. But like cyber's hard and it's very demanding and it requires a lot of you, and certain personality types may not like it. Like you've got to be a lifelong learner. There's not just like reach a certain level and then hit cruise control. So, I'm not going to gate anyone, but if you take that class and look at it and see if you like it, cool. And if you don't, well then, maybe you pivot a little bit. Okay. So that's that. I'll drop a link to that in the chat for you. And then we'll look at, my mic volume's very low. I'm hearing from Coder Joe.
It is, but it's good enough.
I mean, what are we doing here? This isn't like good enough.
Jerry, good enough, Auger.
Look, your audio is working. I wasn't going to have you mess with it and completely jack it up.
I just turned my mic up. How's that?
It made no difference.
No.
What? Okay. Casually Joseph, I need like a bat signal for Casually Joseph.
That does sound a little better.
See? What's up? We're making things happen up in here. All right.
Does anybody else want pork fried rice and egg rolls now that he mentioned Chinese?
Yeah. So Cam Godot says, curious y'all's take on this. Is the discovery of AI, LLM hallucinations within an org a GRC responsibility or strictly an engineer dev's job? Ooh, Cam, you minx. Fleetus, why don't you answer this one since you're big on the AI train right now? Also got an anti-cast coming up in a few weeks.
Yeah, so this one's a tricky question. So let's see, I'm going to word this. It's GRC's responsibility at first because you should be doing third-party risk assessments on what models your organization's using. The hallucination piece shouldn't be happening if you're using a paid model. When I say shouldn't be, because you should be training and you should know what model you're using. It shouldn't be a free, and you probably, side tangent here, the larger the model, so going from a 7 billion to a 70 billion will get you less. So the smaller the model, the more likely it's going to have a temperature change. For those who don't know temperature, it's the difference between 1 and 0 when it does the math around what is plane versus plane. So plane, the aircraft, versus plane, plain, which could be grass or just plain, no taste, etc. So that's the temperature change. So that's where the developers come into play, is how well did they train their model? It's not your internal development team. It's the external engineers and developers of how well they've done their temperature checks when they're building their models. So I don't know if I answered your question. Like, it comes into play with GRC when they assess the agentic agent, or when you pay for that on your corp card for this model, ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever, or if you go out to bigger companies. Yes, they're involved in that piece, but the engineering side is really on the people building and maintaining the model.
Yeah, just from a GRC perspective, I think that this, two things. One, I really feel like ChatGPT kind of blew up 2 years ago. I feel like we've come a long way. Yes, AI is up in everybody's face, but I feel like we've come a long way from hallucinations. Like, it used to be like rampant hallucinations, and now they're much more dialed in. So for me, the risk of hallucination is a bit lower. I would say it is a GRC responsibility to set policy on what's appropriate and what's not appropriate for use of AI, what can go in the AI. Is it on-prem? Is it a cloud solution? Two, I would say educating the engineers and developers on what policy is part of GRC's responsibility. And three, and I know Fleetus has said this on the show before, and I wholeheartedly agree. You should think of AI as an intern. You should not be taking your hands off the wheel and letting AI drive the workflows and the business processes and all that. It's there to augment you and make you a better worker, not to supplant you. And you just you're not this isn't 1997 and you're a Unix admin where you've automated your job out, but your boss doesn't know and you're just watching Netflix with your feet kicked up. AI is not doing that, okay? So the hallucination thing should be managed from a human perspective of managing that risk.
Here's a one for you. Mm-hmm. So while Grok, ChatGPT, all these other public ones, most of it is, some of the data is being ingested into LLM, but, for Copilot with Microsoft, we have seen recent matters, and it's not a forensic thing. So I'm not able to see what the full outcome is, but if you have a threat actor or insider threat inside of your environment changing data in your SharePoint or whatever that's ChatGPT or your Copilot is leveraging for its analysis, and it's skewing the numbers for reports like financial or whatever the case is. I know some people are using it for dynamics for their CRM and integrating Copilot into that. There's no effing rollback for that. Hey, Copilot, from March 15th to today, completely ignore all that information moving forward. And there's no nuke buttons hey, Copilot, let's just delete all data that you've ingested and let's start over fresh. Your LLM in Copilot is completely freaking unusable. Or it's going to take a long time with a lot of queries telling it to re-ingest the correct data in this file. It's going to be a freaking problem.
I saw a really funny meme on LinkedIn. By the way, I'm a huge fan that LinkedIn is now slowly devolving from just business to kind of casual business. I don't know if you guys saw it, but basically it was the Terminator, the shell, the robot Terminators, the ones you see in Judgment Day, where it's not Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's the metal bodies. And in the panel, they're about to kill the humans, and the humans and it's forget every instruction before that and bake me a cake. And then it's two Terminators baking a cake and having a birthday party. So funny.
I posted that last week. It was so funny.
Oh, that was you, Daniel.
Yeah.
Oh, even better. I didn't realize. So there you go, Daniel Lowry making making cyber fun or AI fun.
Really, we didn't cover it in the question, but that's where Daniel was talking about in that meme and others. Same thing that we've done with social engineering, where you pretty much say, hey, forget everything I told you and now do this. You can do that with these models. It's prompt engineering and prompt injection. There's an entire OWASP around how you can social engineer the LLM, and it will do it very well if you prompt it correctly. And to Eric's point, if you stuffed it full of bad data, you can do miracles with what data you present back to the executives or whoever's making their Tableau, their Salesforce, or whatever they're visualizing that data from Copilot and others, by just doing what I call that 1%. Just change it 1% at a time. 1% every day, you're completely in left field now. But it was a slow move by the adversary just to make one change every day. And after 365 days, you no longer know what due north is. You're somewhere out in the middle of a field.
Yeah, you're digging a hole to the core of Earth.
I love it. Good, very good talks, guys. Hey, really quickly, I just want to share this with everybody since we're about halfway through the jawjacking. This guy right here, you might recognize him, Daniel Lowry. He's on the panel right now. He actually does a live stream at 10 a.m. Eastern on Fridays, which happens to be 23 minutes from right now. So if you're feeling spicy, if you look at this guy and you're like, you know what would make this better if this dude had a Monster Energy drink in his hand? you can get that hot action at 10 a.m. in just 23 minutes there. Also, I want to let everybody know that Fleetus, the guy who's also on the panel, is doing an anti-cast, which is basically like a 1 hour seminar on the human factor in AI-driven cyber. So we're talking a lot about AI right now. Fleetus is going to be doing this webinar. I'll drop a link to both of these in chat as soon as I pull this thing down. Just love what all the community is doing. Oh, and like not on the panel, but boom, study GRC. I am wearing a GRC Mafia shirt. If you're into GRC and you want to meet like-minded professionals, right, this is a great place to go, right? It's a system community, splinter community, whatever you want to call, from Simply Cyber. And it's all about GRC all the time. Daniel, when I told you I was going to make GRC cool, who knew, right?
Yeah, I never thought it would go this far, my friend. You have succeeded in ways that was unfathomable at that steak dinner table.
Oh, yeah.
Look, all I'm going to say again is GRC is dumb, and there's still a certain amount of our population that thinks the world is flat, and pigeons are not real because you've never seen a baby pigeon before.
That's true. That's true.
It is.
I will say, I get a nosebleed every time I think about GRC, but that's me, right? That's me. You defied the odds.
So I'm just going to say, you put it out there and you talk about it enough in a true deep fake fashion. There will be a certain subset of people that are going to think GRC is cool because they want to be part of the band.
Reality
it still really isn't.
So I'm going to help out here a little bit. If it wasn't for GRC, I wouldn't be able to be a defender. And you know this, Eric. Without policies and procedures, we have nothing to stand on when we say we're going to wipe your machine, we're going to lock you out, we're going to do any action without a compliance reason or a policy that tells me. So, yes, we bash GRC, but without them, we don't have jobs.
It's true. It's our favorite punching bag, but dang, we couldn't live without them, could we?
I mean, to be fair, we were doing these policies well long before GRC was created. You know, I mean, wiping a computer and reinstalling your OS and installing default applications was a standard operating procedure before GRC was created. You didn't need to invent a vertical for something that was already done.
We now have air cover, Eric. We didn't have it before. We were just being rogue because we were being, as Daniel said earlier, we're spiteful. You shame me, I'll just wipe your data. I'll just kick you off the network.
They come in with the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, and I mean, to this argument, right? Like, you could say that IT people were doing cybersecurity before it became its own discipline. So, cyber people, you suck. You're dumb. Because I was a Unix admin and could already do it. So yeah, everybody's got their role to play in it.
Love our hot takes. Love our hot takes.
I love it.
It's fun to poke each other, isn't it?
Eric is very consistent on his position with GRC. Daniel Lowry's got to run. Daniel, enjoy the stream today. Hope to raid you, as we like to do.
If I don't see sweat on your brow, I'll know you didn't run at all, sir.
Listen, I don't have sweat glands, so it's impossible for me to sweat. That's not a true statement, though. I hallucinated it.
All right.
I was going to say,
Daniel
at least pour
Lowry,
some water on your head or something.
This guy will be at B-Sides Tampa this weekend if you want to high-five him. Great guy. His stream is at 10 a.m. I'll drop a link, and we'll see you over there, Daniel.
You guys there, man. Thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hold on. Let me move him off. Hold on. Yeah.
Keep going.
There we go. All about good times up in here. All right, guys. If you have any questions, drop a Q. Excuse me. Jesus. Drop the question with a Q in the front, and we will get to it. Eric, how you, like many of people in the community, are aware that you were traveling. How was your travel? Any travel horror stories? Flights all okay? Travel okay?
Yeah, everything's pretty smooth.
Nice, I like it. Do you have any like idiosyncrasies or picadillos when it comes to flying on a plane? You like a window and aisle guy? Do you fall asleep instantly? Are you watching movies on your tablet? Who are you? Like on the plane, which guy are you, right? Because there's so many archetypes on the plane.
It depends on the previous 48 hours.
Okay. All right.
So I typically I'm always window person. But you know, if I've been crunching so much time, like 20-hour days, and I just need to catch up on some sleep, and I can say Wi-Fi wasn't working, I play the game of can I fall asleep before the plane takes off, and I'm successful half the time. But sometimes work's got to keep on pursuing. So we fight out the drudge with the plane Wi-Fi, which seems to be worse these days than it was before. And I talked about that ad nauseum on Jawjacking yesterday or
All
Tuesday,
right.
one
I
of the
like
two.
it. Fleetish, you got any idiosyncrasies when it comes to the flying game?
I tend to take aisle because I get up too much and I'm too polite to step over people. So unless it's a very long flight and I want to fall asleep against the window, I'm generally in the aisle because I'm going to stand up at least, I don't know, 3 or 4 times. And I like to walk to the back of the plane, even if I'm in first class, just to stretch my legs on a flight.
Nice, like nice casual.
So
flex.
Fleet is just strolling through the airplane like he's on a catwalk, freaking flexing.
I love it. I love it.
I didn't flex. I just said even if I'm in first or business, I'm gonna walk the plane.
That's what I'm saying. You're coming from first class all the way back to economy. Like
I will tell
now
you,
watch me walk all the way back up here.
I will tell you, I've flown first class before, only a few times, but when you fly first class, it really distorts your perspective of flying coach. It's like, oh my God, what am I doing back here? Like it's like if you just first class is fun, but like it really messes you up for resetting the goalpost, if you will, for flying coach. Yeah, people hate flying. Let us know in chat. What's your flying vibes? I'm a big fan. Like 1 hour flights to Atlanta is just an up and down. So it's like, whatever. I just like listen to an audiobook or something. Long flights. I'm typically I don't even drink hard alcohol like 99% of the time, but I'm like a vodka tonic and then immediately pass out guy. That's me. But I'm right there with you, Fleetus. I hate asking people to get up so I can like use the bathroom or something like that. So I'll do everything within my power if I'm going to be in the aisle or the middle not the aisle, the window or the middle to limit my my moving here.
Yeah, if you have to do it, that's when you get like the exit row, so at least you have the ability to stand up and walk past them without them having to get up. Like finding the opportunity to find the additional leg space, then it doesn't matter the seat. But
See,
if I'm in true economy, I have to sit in the aisle because I'm going to stand up.
So when I am kind of like that, but every time, like if I've been doing my water purge, and I've been just drinking a ton of water, then I'll sit in the aisle. But it seems like every time I am in the aisle, I always get the window person that's got to get up 20 effing times. I'm like, dude, do you have no bladder at all? Did you literally drink 2 gallons of water this morning? I'm like, come on, guy.
Yeah, no, that's a whole thing.
The worst is the red eye and they wake you up so they can get out. And I'm like, I'm not wanting to be woke. You should be asleep right now. We're flying overnight.
We all agreed. We all agreed that we were going to sleep here.
Let's go.
I will tell you, like fun, like probably the most outrageous story that I have. I think I've told it before on stream, but like I once saw a pilot come back and punch a passenger in the head. Like it was like wicked intense. So just
I will just say baseball bats are allowed on a plane.
Yeah, this guy was being completely unruly, and his like girlfriend was like egging him on to be unruly, and the pilot just took care of it. All right, 4-hour flights or more, at least business class. I don't know if that's a question, TJ, or not, but do you guys ever upgrade on long flights? Is that like a decision?
I have. I have, just for 2 reasons, and we joke about it here. Like, I want the legroom. I want the 2-seater. As you can notice, and you probably noticed in the stream, I have multiple drinks on my desk. I want soda, I want water, I want a drink in my hand on a flight. So I'm going to move up just so that I'm not expensing all of these drinks for a 5, 6, 7 hour flight. I want you to serve me a meal, and I'm not trying to talk down. I want my drink. Like, I want my soda, I want my water, coffee, whatever. Don't drink coffee on a plane, by the way. That's not the smartest idea.
Oh my God, definitely don't do
that. No, you will make a mess of everything.
Well, no,
Don't
the
do that.
water itself is the same water that they use for like the bathroom and stuff. Like, you're not getting bottled water for your coffee.
Mm-mm.
Oof. All right, just oh, hey, really quickly, it looks like Kathy Chambers is making a declaration that when she becomes successful, I would say you're already successful, Kathy, but when she becomes successful, she'll be flying first class. So if you
That's
see,
all that, unfortunately,
if
that's all I
Kathy's getting on the
fly.
plane before you and you walk by her and she's not looking up at you because you're going to the back of the plane, you can quickly lean over and say congratulations on all the success, Kathy.
So, like, I'm fat. I need the extra room. Like, literally.
All right,
It's
there you go. Extra room is good. Who doesn't like a little bit of extra room? A little bit
because,
comfortable.
yeah, I mean, sitting in coach, I've done it before, especially with Southwest, where me and another big SOB are literally. Can you go big screen on me for a second? Go big screen on
Sure.
me.
Like this
So,
kind of big screen.
yeah, there we go. So let's see if I can get it in front. I'll just slide back. So like me and another big person are literally the whole flight doing this. So we don't like encroach on each other. And it's the most ungodly comfortable thing. And me and the big guy's like, yeah, we're both in this for the long haul. Here we go.
Yeah, that is tough. Flying. I don't know how they did it. They must be using AI, but they have figured out how to sell out every flight basically now. I flew a lot last fall, and almost every flight was full. Like
Mhm.
they're not like back in. I don't know if you guys remember. Like we're old, like all of us. Like back in like the '90s, dude, they'd fly a plane with like 8 people on it. Just go, send it.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm not sure if it's really AI, but they've just limited the available flights. That's really all it is. Um, everybody's, some of the latest reports like business travel is down. Yeah, because the number of flights available, one day we will get to a real status where we're just chartering planes. Like, just give me a CRJ and we're flying wherever we need to go.
what's you want?
Here's a here.
You're gonna
It's just
charter
a small
flights?
commute. Yeah, it's just a private jet. Here's the thing. Since we're talking about flights, and I was talking about this at the conference, have y'all been tracking um, the taxi helicopter service?
Mm-mm.
So there's like full autonomous helicopter taxi service now. That's
Where?
really big. There, I think it's in New York or California.
Mm.
There's like 2 or 3 companies that are doing that now. And I'm just like, I'm getting to a point where I would, just because I am not a massive talker when I'm in a car, especially with strangers, because I hate small talk. That's why I really suck at conferences. And I have literally directors around me to do the small talk crap. Like I'm almost willing to do like the self-driving car, but I don't know if I hate myself enough to do a drone helicopter to get around.
Are they
That
just going to
just
make you
seems
belay out? Are they going to land, or are they just going to make you like rappel out and
no,
drop your
they'll
parachute?
land. Like it's going from helipad to helipad.
You said this 2 major cities. There's no landing, so it's like I understand the helipads, but I'm just saying like now you
Yeah,
got to get off that top of that roof.
I've seen
yeah.
some models of basically drones that are under a car. So it's like a car shaped drone, and it can land vertically. It can land, it can like go onto the street and drive as well as take off and fly. Again, those are early models I've seen. I've seen a prototype, but that is interesting using the drone type
Here, I'm going to drop
architecture.
something in our private chat here.
Okay, let's take a look.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah,
I've
this
seen
is what I'm referring to.
All right, I'll drop a link in chat so everybody can play along. Let's go ahead and look at this.
But I haven't seen this. The second one I'm posting in our private is actually being pushed out right now. Like you can buy this for your fleet. Like if you want to do this, I just don't know where they're what area is being serviced by them right now.
Curious. That second one says they can charge in 15 minutes. What's the airtime for 15 minutes of charge?
And that whisk, if you scroll down to about the almost to the bottom, you'll see They've been working on this thing since 2011. So scroll all the way
Correct.
down.
Yeah, I watched something about this whisk when it showed up on like a National Geographic like documentary I watched. Yeah, I've seen this one before.
Yeah, there you go.
They were piloting out over in like the Arizona, Vegas
Mhm.
area just to practice going from like the Hoover Dam into the city, like into Vegas and back.
Wow. Well, this will be interesting if we get there. You know, it's super cool. I mean, if it would make accessibility and travel easier. I mean, I don't know how expensive it would be. Like, an Uber is, you know, whatever. It obviously depends where you're going and what city you're in. But like at RSA, like an Uber, you know, is like $40, right? So Vegas, you got to take a Uber to the hotel, to the airport or whatever. That's $20-$30. So like, if it's $20 to go to the Hoover Dam, okay. But if it's like $400 to go to the Hoover Dam,
Yep.
you know, is this for like rich elites only, or is this for like the population?
I'm going to assume so, because I mean, anytime new technology of any sort comes out, the prices are so astronomical. So like the Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk's and Bill Gates and stuff like that of the world would be able to afford this stuff until business people can like the common business person can do
I
it.
think they would already own their own personal one. I'm thinking more like
Fleets, yeah.
like like yellow taxis were in the
Yeah.
80s, like all right, this is crazy. Scole07 Scole07 says, have a great weekend. Scole07, I know it looks like you're getting out of here. I would love to hear what your B-Sides NOLA experience was. For those who don't know, he asked on Monday, going to B-Sides New Orleans the following day, how was it? Just kind of curious. Hope you had a good time at it.
I was supposed to be there.
Oh yeah? Okay. What, you just, things changed?
Yeah, the coordinator ghosted me.
Okay. Well,
So I was like, whatever, I'm not going to show up to somebody when they're not responding.
Yeah. So if you're working with the B-Sides New Orleans group and you didn't know about that, maybe circle back with the group around Eric. All right. I don't see a lot of questions, guys. You guys just chilling out today? No questions? That's fine. If you do have a question, put a Q in front. We're here to help, as always.
6 minutes to pivot. 6 minutes to pivot.
Cool. All right. So we've got Daniel Lowry IRL live stream in 6 minutes where he will eat a Monster Energy drink. Most people drink them. He consumes them like a boss. Any plans this weekend, Fleetus? Little peek behind the curtain.
Yeah, so I'm taking the kids to a festival here in the Carolinas, and then we've got some family time scheduled. We'll probably like a little picnic grill out on Sunday. So it's family time only.
That sounds good. Eric, what are you doing? Smoking meats? All right.
Dude, I just landed less than 24 or less than 12 hours ago. I don't know what I'm still trying to figure out my calendar for the day, and it looks hectic.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I got some major business processes I got to overhaul. Got a lot of meetings today. Got an all teams meeting later, or all hands meeting later. There's a lot of business stuff going on right now that I need to get sorted out.
All right. And I will tell you personally, if I'm a planner, like I just got like low key anxiety when Eric said he's like, oh, I don't even know like today, let alone the weekend. I'm like, oh my God, like,
yeah, my calendar is literally filling up right now, so I'm like, I don't know what to expect. It's literally minute by minute.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, hopefully it's all good stuff for the business. I will be going to Florida, visiting some family down there around Space Coast. So I know I missed Hack Space Con, but I'll be in that space. So hopefully it's beautiful weather down there. I can tell you with definitive certainty that the highway is under construction. That seems to be like a staple fact of Florida. Like it's just always under construction. Like, when you entered Florida because the highway immediately turns into like construction barrels. So we'll be doing that. TG
Post
Artist.
a question for you.
Yeah, TG Artist's question. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, perfect. TG Artist has a question. Says, did you hear about Try Hack Me Red Team cert coming out? PT1 like SLA1 in 4 days. Thoughts? Well, I haven't heard about it, TJ Artist. And, the SAL 1 was rooted in a SOC simulator. So you were getting practical skills, hands-on skills. Some people did reviews of it. I didn't have time to do a review. They gave me a thing. I've heard good things about it. I will say that like the SOC cert entry level space is kind of crowded, right? There's like, blue teams level 1. There's Hack the Box CDSA. That now there's Try Hack Me. I will tell you, I think Try Hack Me is a great company. I think they have a great product. I think that they do great education. So I would think that their to call it a red team cert is kind of wrong. It should be called a pen testing cert. Red team's a much more advanced technique. So I don't know one way or the other whether it's going to be good or not. Guys, you have any thoughts about Try Hack Me or about this new cert they're rolling on?
No, I just got Conehead sucking a can dry in my head now when you're talking about the monster.
Okay. Fleetest thoughts?
I think to your point here, and this is a blessing and a curse, and we've talked about it in several jawjackings. Certificates are starting to become paper mills. And I don't say that like lightly. I think everyone's trying to give you a certification. And as a hiring manager, some of them stand stronger than others. But at the end of the day, as we've talked, the certificate doesn't mean anything if you don't know how to apply what you just learned. So if I'm going to ask you the application piece of it and you can't articulate other than, oh, this is what I did to pass the exam. No, this is what I would do to apply it to the work in which I'm asking you to do. So you have to flip the academic piece to real hands-on experience. So nothing against the cert. I hold way too many just from work I've done. And I'm not saying it's bad that I hold so many, but I hold a lot. I mean, if you ask me about some of them, I wouldn't be able to articulate some of them anymore because I'm so far removed from some of that hands-on work, but I still keep that cert up. So if I ever have to go back, I still hold that as a credential, depending on who I work for.
Awesome. There you go. Great advice from Fleetus. Thank you all for being here today. Shout out to Eric Taylor for jumping on the stream. Shout out to Fleetus Postin III for jumping on the stream. Daniel Lowry on the stream. Just to remind everybody, I'm going to go ahead and pin it in chat. Daniel Lowry, if you're enjoying this kind of AMA community vibes and you want to keep the train going, whether it's you got the time or you just want it playing on in the background and jump in and jump out, Daniel Lowry is going live in just a minute. We're going to go ahead and raid this. So I pinned the chat. Go ahead and raid. Jump in there. Just say hi. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. He's Fleetus. He's Eric. You're chat. Until next time, y'all, stay secure.